Tonight at 5, a weather alert day begins tonight and will cause a messy commute for drivers tomorrow morning. How road crews are preparing and when and what to expect. Plus, beginning today, extra patrols are watching along the Beltline, all in an effort to keep drivers safe. And a new report finds thousands of Americans have died from what's known as long COVID. We'll share one patient's struggles with the long-term effects. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. A weather alert day begins tonight. Several counties are already seeing winter storm warnings and advisories. We're going to take a live look at Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Snow from this same storm system has already started falling. Southern Wisconsin communities, well, we're all in for a messy commute tomorrow morning. So on that note, let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Julian Seawright tells us when to expect the snow. Julian?
Well, we're looking to expect that snow come around midnight for tonight, but some areas could see that transition just a tad bit earlier. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weather bulletins. We have a winter weather advisory from Iowa County in areas to the east until 9 p.m. into 7 a.m. in the morning for us going into our Thursday. Areas to the north are going to be looking around 9 a.m. This is going to be from Fond du Lac to the east, and then even further north, we have a winter storm warning in effect for those areas. We're going to be looking at significant snowfall totals for northern parts of Wisconsin, but for us, we could see from 2 to 4 and potentially even 3 to 5, which is why we have the accumulating snow as our alert day, which we're looking at to be very similar to what we had last Thursday. It's going to be heavy, wet snow, and we're going to see heavy snowfall rates overnight going into our Thursday morning, which is going to be bound to make a bit of a hectic commute as we get into the morning. But right now, we're just dealing with rain, and it's mainly east, but it's starting to collect itself a bit more as it continues to travel north. So we are looking for it to be a bit of a wet commute for the rest of tonight. Here's a look at the next 3 hours, how it starts to develop. More widespread rainfall is what we're expecting as we get into the later parts of this evening, heading into tonight. Outside of that, though, folks, make sure that you're taking it slow and using your low beams, because we have fog that has been developed over the last hour, which has lowered visibility to around 2 miles for Madison and for Janesville, and areas to the southwest, not even looking at a mile for Platteville. And as we take a live look, we can't even see outside as of right now, even though over the next few hours, we could start to see that fog lift just a bit before we see snow rolling in and will lower our visibility once again. Here's a look ahead. Temperatures will fall from the 40s into the upper 30s and middle 30s as we get into tonight, where we're looking for that transition of snow starting for us. We'll take a look at what else these impacts could mean over the next couple of days in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Eric.
Julian, thank you. The city's plows are at the ready, but there's not much they can do until the snow actually hits the ground. And even then, they're on standby to see just how much accumulates. Tahlil Modine joins us now live to share what it could mean for your morning commute. Tahlil?
Eric, officials from the Streets Division say drivers should brace themselves for tomorrow morning's commute. Now, while they don't know for sure, they say it's likely we see very similar road conditions that left drivers stuck, sliding, or running late last Friday. What's shaping up to be another round of heavier snow and slippery roads.
A lot of the same elements are in place.
Has the Madison Streets Division planning to have 36 of their plows on Madison roads come midnight, even before the worst of the snow is expected to roll in.
With this storm, it's not like it's a front moving in. It's a front that's already here and then turning to snow. So we got to be ready. We don't want to lose any time to calling people in.
The first team of snowplow workers, as usual, will focus on the salt roads, meaning the city's main thoroughfares. They'll also be sanding hills, curves, and intersections in residential areas that need the extra help with traction. But after that, the Streets Division's Brian Johnson says it's pretty much a wait-and-see scenario.
Seeing how much we're going to get.
This time around, he's hoping to catch a break and see the worst of the storm pass through before the morning commute.
Instead of all of us trying to get through it all at the same time, where the plows are stuck in the same traffic as everybody else, like on the 9th.
But Johnson knows as well as anyone in Wisconsin that may just be wishful thinking.
Snow is never easy. You know, sometimes like the weather just wins. Sometimes, I guess you could say, we'll do the best we can to deal with it.
Streets Division protocol for plowing the entire city requires at least 3 inches of snow. It's a process that takes more than 12 hours to complete. Reporting live, Tahlil Modine, News 3 Now.
Tahlil, thank you. Now remember, you can always stay up to date on weather in your area with our First Warn News 3 Now weather app. It has hourly forecast, your road conditions, radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather, and you'll also find school closings on the app and on the top of our homepage, channel3000.com. A Navy recruiter accused of using his position to sexually assault children made a virtual appearance in Rock County Court today. Will Keneally joins us now with the latest developments in this case. Will?
So since Brian Bradley Hubbard was first charged last week with 4 counts of child abuse, 2 counts of
Well, 2 more alleged victims in the case have come forward, leading prosecutors to amend their initial criminal complaint against him. Bradley Hubbard's bond conditions today were changed to include no contact orders against those 2 new victims. The court did allow him going forward to have contact with his own 2-year-old daughter. That's a single exception to the order that bars him from having intentional contact with minors. He's currently being held in the Rock County Jail on a $50,000 bond. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for January 13th, which was chosen to allow victims to attend. News 3 Now has requested an updated criminal complaint from Rock County, and we will have more at channel3000.com. Happening now, the FBI offering a $10,000 reward in hopes of identifying the suspect in a string of Culver's robberies across southern Wisconsin. Investigators released this security camera video of the suspect at a Best Buy store. The man, described as 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighs about 300 pounds. He has brown hair, a goatee, and should be considered armed and dangerous. The suspect is also accused of robbing a Janesville Best Buy store. As we mentioned, anyone with information should call 911 or the number on your screen there, area code 414-276-4684. Fire crews are investigating a storage unit fire that happened early this morning. This was on Madison's southeast side. Multiple callers reported seeing heavy smoke in the 6300 block of Copps Avenue just before 8. No injuries or deaths were reported, but it's still unclear what caused the fire. A Poinnette man charged with leaving a loaded gun out that led to a 7-year-old being shot by another child will serve time in jail. 20-year-old Andrew Long will serve 10 days in jail. During sentencing, prosecutors also dismissed a drug possession charge. Long was also granted Huber privileges, which will allow him to leave jail to go to work. Police say the girl who was shot will make a full recovery. Starting today, there will be an extra set of eyes on the Beltline. Officers with the Wisconsin State Patrol will be monitoring the road for traffic violations alongside other law enforcement agencies in Dane County. They'll patrol the entire Beltline from Middleton all the way east to the interstate. Officials say the goal of the extra officers is to improve safety on the Beltline. We're getting to know the new vice president and general manager for Forward Madison FC. The club recently named Zane Heinzelman to the role. He spent the past 9 years with the St. Paul Saints baseball team, which is one of the most revered minor league sports teams in the country, eventually serving as the team's vice president. During his tenure, the team moved to a state-of-the-art ballpark, became affiliated with the Minnesota Twins, and it was named the best AAA franchise in 2022. He says he'll bring a fun-first attitude to Madison.
Overall, again, leaning on the staff to know what we can do better in terms of the experience, and then figuring out and digging into what makes us unique, being so close to the Capitol and being a club that always has the intention in mind of doing what's best for the community and bringing fans to Breese-Stevens Field.
As he and his staff build their roster and prepare for the 2023 season, they're looking for new ways to help their community and focus on the ultimate fan experience. And at 6 tonight, you'll hear more about that plan from our Andrew Banstra. A new martial arts gym is now officially open in Fitchburg. Forward Thai Boxing focuses on providing students with the highest quality martial arts instruction in a safe, strength-based learning environment. Students will get specialized training in Muay Thai and Krav Maga.
Muay Thai is a Thai style of kickboxing known as the art of 8 limbs. It is a competition sport that focuses on stand-up striking techniques, whereas Krav Maga is an Israeli-born martial art that teaches students real-life self-defense strategies.
Their goal is to make martial arts a fun and viable way to learn new skills, build a strong body, and build strong relationships. Today, the Federal Reserve voted again to raise interest rates in an effort to keep inflation down. Rates will rise by 0.5%, and that is less than the 3/4 boost in previous months, bringing the total to 4.25 percentage points this year. A new report shows inflation was at 7.1% in November, down from the peak of 9.1% in June. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the Fed will continue raising rates in the new year, but not quite as much.
But I think in the months ahead, as the Fed meets, we might see an even smaller increase, maybe 1/4 of a point.
Welcome reduction.
The battle against inflation is making it more expensive to borrow money. The average used car loan right now is 10.2%, up from 7.4% a year ago. And rates on a new credit card have jumped to almost 23%. A new report from the Department of Health and Human Services estimates how many Americans have died from long COVID since the beginning of the pandemic. Naomi Ruckham explores the findings and lets us know the struggles some face with long COVID.
Nurse Patrice Peretti got very sick with COVID-19 in March 2020. Today, the 62-year-old battles long COVID, extreme fatigue, pain, neurological and memory issues. Eventually, she had to stop working.
I'm going to try not to cry because I was hanging in there. The wave came and the increase in hours, and we were at war, really, and I was injured.
It's estimated as many as 23 million Americans have long COVID symptoms. Now a new report shows more than 3,500 people have died from long COVID-related illnesses in the first 2.5 years of the pandemic.
Perhaps they have a complication, like let's say they have underlying congestive heart failure, and that condition is exacerbated by having long COVID. Or perhaps you have diabetes and your diabetes becomes harder to control.
People 75 and older accounted for more than half the deaths. Dr. Sritha Rajupate directs the post-COVID clinic at Stony Brook Medicine. She says one study limitation is that researchers looked at death certificates and the numbers are likely higher.
I think this is where we have an opportunity to study long COVID further. And so we want to look back and ask, were they vaccinated for COVID? Did they receive oral antiviral treatments? All of those could play an impact.
I go to physical therapy. I do hydrotherapy.
Patrice says she has hope.
I want to say I'm getting better, so therefore I will become better. But today I'm not feeling well. See, so you could have something, a diagnosis that's really, really horrific, but be in a good state of mind.
She wants others with long COVID to know they're not alone. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
This report by the Department of Health and Human Services is believed to be one of the first reports to take a look at counting the deaths related to long COVID. Coming up, a winter weather alert day begins tonight. Julian tells us when and what to expect. Plus, Title 42 expires next week. President Biden now facing calls to act as thousands of migrants arrive at the southern border. Details after the break. And a quick check of the markets. In midweek trading, the Dow Jones Industrial Average falling more than 142 points. The Nasdaq tumbles 86. The S&P 500 off 24. We'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm. Please send me more." It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines, like, it's amazing.
You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself, I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
And we have an alert day in the forecast for accumulating snow that looks to impact our morning commute and our Thursday. We'll break that down tonight at 6.
And we meet the new general manager for Forward Madison. His plans for the team tonight at 6.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified, most accurate team, First Warn Weather. Only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Title 42, a rule invoked by former President Trump during the pandemic, expires next week. Now the White House is facing calls to act as thousands arrive at the southern border expecting to cross in the coming days. As Gloria Pasmino reports, border officials say they are not prepared to handle it.
The Biden administration under pressure, facing a December deadline to end the Title 42 public health rule invoked at the onset of the COVID pandemic. It allows officials to turn away migrants at the U.S. southern border.
Where they're going to have more apprehensions, and so we're going to see a lot more releases into the community, and we're not prepared for it.
With the policy set to expire December 21st, border towns are bracing for an increase of migrants in a matter of days. As deadline nears, local shelters try to meet the need.
I'll see how we can get them in-house, because the temperatures this week in El Paso, overnight, they're all going to be at freezing or below freezing.
Republicans have been critical of the administration's handling of immigration issues.
He has no plan to deport the more than 1 million people who have active deportation orders in our country.
While some Democrats have raised concerns that asylum seekers are being barred from entering the country, officials from border areas want Biden to visit.
Just showing up at the border would send a strong signal to the communities that he's there.
Just over the weekend, more than 2,400 migrants illegally crossed into the U.S. each day in the El Paso, Texas sector, according to a senior Border Patrol official. In the meantime, thousands of families, women, and children are in limbo. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
As officials prepare for a surge of migrants ahead of the expiration of Title 42, the Department of Homeland Security has deployed additional agents now to El Paso. Well, time for your First Warn forecast, as we could have a messy Thursday on tap. Here's Julian Seawright with further details. Julia?
That's right. We're going to go ahead and just break down everything for our alert day for us. Starting with tonight, we're going to be looking at the transition from rain to snow near the midnight hour, but for some areas it could be a bit earlier. We're looking at 2 to 5 inches of snowfall to be coming from this event. Some areas could see a bit more, around 6 inches here in southern Wisconsin, and some areas could see a bit less, closer to like 1 to 3. But other than that, we are looking for much of that snow to start to really pick up once again into the rest of tonight. Winter weather advisories are in effect from areas in Iowa County into the eastern side until 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. going into our Thursday morning. Areas just to the northeast of Juneau and Adams County, we have that winter weather advisory in effect from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. going into tomorrow morning. And the further northern parts of Wisconsin, we have that winter storm warning in effect as well between that timeline. So this is what we're seeing on our radar. We're picking up some rain, and it's going to continue to track its way coming in from the northern parts of Illinois. It will become more widespread over the next 3 hours. That's why we're just looking at much of that rain to really be the impact for our evening. But the overnight is where we're going to be watching for that transition in terms of snow. Around 10 o'clock, we can start to see a bit of some snow starting to pick up near the Dells and to the northern parts of Dane County and Columbia counties. But we're still going to be looking at a bit of that rain just near the 40-degree and upper 30 mark between the southwestern parts of Wisconsin and areas closer to the Illinois state line. But around midnight, we're going to see it all transition into snow, and it is going to be a fast transition. With it, heavy snowfall amounts are going to be impacting southern Wisconsin throughout the overnight. overnight hours going into our Thursday morning as well. It will start to dissipate just a bit once we get to around the 7 o'clock hour. We're looking for a bit of a dry period rolling into our early Thursday morning, but then we're looking for another round of snow starting in around the lunchtime hour going into our afternoon, and it's going to slowly trickle its way across southern Wisconsin one more time, which could bring in a couple more inches of snowfall for some areas, especially for us here in Dane County. This is why it really kind of matters where you are and when this is going to be impacting us, because we could see an extra or an additional 2 inches for some areas once we get into our Friday mornings. We're still going to be dealing with some snow showers that's going to be carrying in throughout the rest of the work week. Outside of that, we're not looking for too much more in terms of rainfall, but still going to be rather significant. We're looking at a 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall for us here in Madison. Areas closer to the Illinois state line, since they're going to be seeing rain a bit longer, we're going to be looking close to about an inch. But for snowfall in itself, we could be seeing 3 to 6 inches from areas in Dane County to the north by the time this is all said and done. This is going to be wet, heavy snow, so just be prepared for it to be very similar to what it was last Thursday. Now, we are looking for this to make impacts overnight going into our Thursday morning, so make sure that you're giving yourself ample amounts of time to take action and be prepared for a messy morning commute. Here's a look at what we're seeing for our 10-day forecast. Once we get into the weekend, things are going to be colder, but we're not going to be seeing as much in terms of snow until we get into next week, where we do have another system that looks to be bringing in a bit more of some snowy conditions just before our Christmas holiday. Outside of that, we are looking for some slower spots along the belt line, especially westbound. We're looking at it to really start to be slowing up for us as we continue throughout the rest of our 5 p.m. commutes. And for the interstate, we are actually looking pretty good, all green, as we continue throughout the rest of tonight. That's going to do it for weather and traffic. Back to you, Eric.
Julian, thank you. And don't forget to download our First Warn Weather app. Stay up to date on hourly forecasts, your road conditions and radar. Also, school closings, especially important right now. You can also see those at the top of our homepage, channel3000.com. Local, state, and federal veterans organizations gathered in Janesville today to host a health and benefits fair. Veterans of all ages could come to the fair, learn more about job opportunities, health and mental health services, and educational opportunities. The event was part of the PACT Act Week of Action. The PACT Act was recently passed and expands care and benefits for veterans. Organizers say they're already planning more events like this one.
Excellent turnout, and this was short notice too, so I'm even more excited about future benefit fairs because we'll have more word out, so that'll be excellent.
And you can learn more about the PACT Act by visiting va.gov/PACT. Prices are up for pretty much everything, but one thing is coming down even more just in time for your holiday travels. An update on gas prices next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Ready, Dad?
All charged up.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright with a special offer. Now choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order on select Ford vehicles. Lock in your rate and you're protected.
I'm proud of you, kid.
And that's how Ford is helping you shine bright. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, Just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This holiday season, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off, and as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick Pen with your order. The Quick Stick Pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick Pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
There are still too many bad burgers out there. So Arby's is running that Wagyu Steakhouse burger back. Arby's, we have the meat.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
As many get ready to travel to their holiday destinations in the coming days, prices are up for just about everything over last year, but there is some relief at the gas pump. Mike Valerio previews your holiday driving forecast.
The song says there's no place like home for the holidays, but that might not be true for everyone.
We are forecasting 113 million people are going to be traveling for this upcoming holiday period. About 101 million will go by car.
AAA is forecasting the third busiest year for holiday travel since the agency began tracking in 2000, topped only by 2018 and 2019. But spokesperson Andrew Gross says people are beginning to return to pre-pandemic level travel, which means crowds at the airports and traffic on the roads. Routes in major metro areas are expected to be especially congested both Fridays, leading into the Christmas and New Year's holiday weekends.
If you're driving, you have more flexibility because you can decide what time you're going to go.
And while soaring inflation means you may be paying more for holiday gifts, drivers are catching a break at the pump.
We expect that gasoline prices could be hovering right around the $3 a gallon level, way below even what we saw last year.
Gross notes the global price of oil, along with the less expensive winter blend of gas, is behind the steady decline in prices. But to get the most mileage out of that tank of gas and stay safe on the roads, AAA recommends having your vehicle serviced before your trip and plan for anything Mother Nature may have in store.
Make sure your fluids are topped, your tires are properly inflated. And also, if there's a big storm coming in and you're driving, you can, choose a different route.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Gas prices in Madison averaging about $2.85 a gallon, but GasBuddy.com says many stations right now are selling a gallon of regular unleaded for about $2.68. We're back with a final look at that all-important First Warn forecast in just a moment.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything, like your future in-laws?
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kitties like her.
Can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
Hey, there's my girl. Who's that?
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. Whether you're looking for all the advanced features or something with a lower upfront cost, with Rheem heating equipment, you can stay comfortable even in the most uncomfortable situations.
Oh, come on. Yes, let's go.
Feel the Wohlers difference. Call Wohlers Heating and Air Conditioning today, serving Dane County for over 45 years.
Complete your next project with help from Menards. Give your bathroom a fresh update with Delta. Their bathtubs and showers are built for style, design, and durability. Save big money on Delta tubs and showers. Install your new tub surround with Loctite adhesives and caulk. They're easy to use while providing a strong and flexible seal that will last for years to come. Save big money on all Loctite, caulk, and adhesives. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. To help you take walks again. To ease your pain.
To rebuild your strength.
And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you. You.
You.
They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Julian Seawright is back. Got a busy stretch ahead in the weather department.
That's right. So we have the alert day, which is going to go into effect for tonight and carry in throughout the rest of our Thursday. We're looking for heavy wet snow to develop overnight, which will be causing some morning impacts for our commute. So make sure that you're giving yourself extra time and being prepared, and also staying aware of the weather throughout tomorrow. We are looking for more snow showers going in Thursday night into our Friday morning. But the good news is this weekend we'll start to phase out, but the cold weather is going to be right behind it.
All right, well, stay with us, folks, as we continue to update on this system moving in. We're back in 30 minutes with more updates on News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.